on the road by the policeman, nothing happens to you on your license until you get the third one. Then your insurance and your license gets dicey. And I feel in here, privileges should not be taken away on the first offense. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to comment on that. For the,
You want me back? You need me back?
Before we comment, no, this lady here. This is for member comments. And then we can finish up. And we have to try to stick to 3 minutes. Okay, thank you. Name and unit number.
My name is Sandy Gilly. I live in Section 2, and I have one question about dogs. Now, I have a neighbor that says she has a lot and a half and she's allowed 3 dogs. And it's 3.5 dogs? Okay.
2.5.
2.5. But it's, I mean, the dogs are barking all the time. And if it's not her, it's the other dogs up the street, which is more than 2 dogs. And I was just wondering what is it actually 2 dogs per house or what?
2 dogs per house, 2 animals per household.
Okay.
That went away. Yeah, that was, and we've had that for a long time. That was in place way before I came here, so I don't know where this.
I mean, she keeps saying, and then the dogs have puppies, and I mean, there's been 6 or 7 dogs out there, and it's getting ridiculous. So.
And Sandy, have you reported this?
Yes.
You have, okay. Then I'm willing to speak with you also?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else out there? Thank you. Okay, I know Ron had asked, oh, Leo?
I'd like to make a brief comment. I have heard what you are all saying about penalties for bylaw violations. I too, even as a board member, informally approached the board to address needed changes relating to penalties for violations. I have heard the arguments and still feel it is time to realistically discuss this community-wide and board-wide. We need to rethink many of our bylaws and come up to date if we are to continue as a lively, vibrant community. Saying we can't do something because of our bylaws begs me to say, who created these bylaws? Who can change them? Why not? You all gather here today to express concern, dissatisfaction, and a clear indication of change. This board, you elected, needs to make these changes and needs your continued input to make sure we stay in tune and realistically approach these serious concerns. Whatever board members you are comfortable with, let them know your concerns, but especially your constructive ideas of what should happen. It is our community. Take pride in it, and don't be afraid to let us know.
Thank you, Leo. But I think that's rules and regulations, because that's where the violations would be. And with all of your comments, we will certainly discuss things, and we will also let you know at some point why it has happened, okay? Which we discussed at a annual meeting 2 or 3 years ago, when people said they wanted them more forceful because people were not paying attention to the speeding. That is the reason why the board took it upon itself to up the speeding violations, because people were not paying attention. They pay their $25 and the next month that they get caught, they're paying their $25. So this is not something that the board did lightly, but we are certainly willing to sit, and I will sit with every one of you that has come forward, and let's have a good discussion on it. Okay, thank you. Who was next? Ron, did you have something to say?
Yeah. The people asked to have the fines increased. It wasn't something that was presented by the board, number one. Number two, everything's enforced because the people have asked to have it enforced. It's not the board that's enforcing. All the board is doing, and all security is doing, and all the administration is doing, is enforcing the rules and regulations that this community as a whole has asked to have in place. If the community feels that it needs to be changed, they need to present information to us, number one, that it can be placed on the annual ballot or on the annual meeting for the people to vote on. That's the only way that bylaws and deed restrictions can be changed. Rules and regulations can be changed at other times through there, but again, rules and regulations are enforced based on what the people have asked to have done. Personally, I try to treat people like I like to be treated. And I'm not going to pick on you, but I've got to use your words. I don't treat people as children. The only thing that we do is enforce what the people, this community, has asked to have in place. If that's not what the community wants, then the community as a whole needs to say, we don't want that done. It's extremely difficult at 1 o'clock in the morning to enforce speeding regulations. Security can be out there, but they can't run laser at 1 o'clock in the morning because there's not the light to do that. If you've got a dog that's barking, security can't do anything about it. And we've asked before, and we've told people before, you need to call the sheriff's department. If there's activities going on that's against the law, you need to call the sheriff's department. Security cannot take care of that. They can enforce some things as far as entrance, but there are things that they cannot do because they don't have a badge to do it. We all need to remember that, okay? And we all need to remember we're in the same community. We're all here for the same reason. I moved here because it's a 55-plus community, and yes, we have people living here that are under the age of 55, and some of those are grandfathered in. And until those people become 55 and qualify under that, or until they move out, there's nothing that we can do about that because they're grandfathered in. I don't like grandfathering sometimes any more than other people do, but that's the fact, and that's the way it is. And I'm going to stop before I say something that I shouldn't.
Now, I'm just going to, I thank you, Ron. You said that very well. When we changed the rules for speeding, which seems to be a big thing here, there was over 200 people at that annual meeting a couple of years ago. And all we hear is the complaints. The complaints at 1 o'clock in the morning, there's not much we can do about it, and I'm going to be very, please wait. But I am going to say that our radar runs from dawn to dusk. That is when people are on the streets more. That's when many of our people are out. We do the best we can. We have one person at any time running radar on 33 miles of roads. If you want more, it is going to cost each and every one of us more money for our operating budget. I do hear what people are saying, and that's why I'm willing to get more information, and I will speak with them. I will let my board know, but I think what's going to happen is I will again ask, or Ken, I'm going to let Ken do it, ask at the next annual meeting how people feel about what has been put into force the last 2 years, and that is the suspension of privileges. People don't care that they have to pay 25, 50 bucks. They don't care. But boy, when you get your barcode suspended, holy moly, that's when and you know people, our speed has gone down as a whole. So the reason for that is because everybody who has got a speeding ticket complains to us, oh, I'll pay the fine, but I do not want to lose my barcode. Well, you know, it's like parents and children. If you give them a reason to not do it again, they're not going to do it, or as much as they used to. That was the intent of this board. This board was not here to punish people because we like to do it. We are a 55-plus community. What is the reason for not paying attention to the rules? And I'm going to put that back on everybody. And that's all I have to say. Did you want to say one more thing?
Yeah, I know this has been a long meeting, and I'll make this brief. I'm your rules guy, okay? I abide by the rules. When I moved in here, I looked at the deed restriction and rules, because I've lived in deed restricted communities before. If you look at our rules and regulations and deed restrictions, it's common sense. It really is. You don't have to be children or anything. You're adults, you can read, look at it, and you see, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's not a no-brainer. No speeding. We, the board here, have 3 things in common: safety and security to this community. We listen to you people. The fines, like Gail said, they don't care about. I've known in the past, because I had this one person in particular, she got fined a couple times, never paid the fines, but she cares about her barcode. The money means nothing to her. Well, what about you walking down the street? I have actually seen a member jump off the road on the boulevard into the grass because a car almost ran him over. So safety is the first concern in this community. And then second, security. Safety and security, they go together. If somebody's coming through the gate that shouldn't be here, well, code enforcement's on there. I do not want to see this community turn into a trailer park. If you want it as a trailer park, you take those rules and you burn them, because that's what you're going to have. You want to see what a community will look like without rules? Go through a trailer park someday. There's a big difference between Brookridge and a trailer park. And all I can say is to you is, pay by the rules, pay your fines, suspensions, take your lumps, and I can say only one good thing. This is the time of year you do not want your barcode taken away. You get your barcode taken away this time of year, you're going to pay a hefty price. You better bring your lunch with you. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. You know, I want to thank you all for coming, and we welcome all remarks, and that's how we know how to proceed forward and to hear more of the people. This board is a very listening board. We do not shut people up. We do not shut people down. I will tell you that yes, I have done it when anybody, including my board members, has attacked another person, because I will not have that type of thing going on in my boardroom. I don't know about other boards, but in my boardroom, we do not hurt each other by our words. So I thank you all for coming. I hope that you come again, and I hope that you got something out of today. I would recommend a motion to adjourn.
One quick thing.
Of course.
You know, if you're if you're disgruntled with the board, that's okay, we all have our opinions. But we're looking for resumes. If you'd like to run for the board, stop by the office, put in a resume, and run for the board.
And
Go
just
ahead.
and just one more thing on that. I am a firm believer of professional volunteering. I've done it my whole life. I've sat here on other boards back in Massachusetts. And the only thing that I will say to people, please don't be afraid to put your name in. There are 4 seats open. You never know what's going to happen. But the one thing I will caution everyone, this board takes care of Brookridge. We take care of all of our residents. We make sure that we are financially solvent. And I would recommend, strongly recommend, anybody who is a one-agenda person, I won't help you get on board. But if you are here to firmly help Brookridge, I will be right there with you. Even if I'm running, I don't care. I want people to come forward. I want a good board, no matter who's on here. I want you to want to be part of Brookridge and not have an axe to grind. Thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Okay. This meeting is over. Thank you.